Hello, this is Scorpy G, and no, we don't have a potbelly sandwich unboxing, though I wish maybe it was. But we'll be unboxing today a Beretta 92 FS parts kit from Wraith Defense. So I find it odd that they sent us this in a sandwich box. But I guess if it works, it works. So all right, let's get this guy open. So I've actually never owned a Beretta 92 FS, but in my time in the services, I used it quite a bit. And my first impression was that it was just a piece of crap. So in my first unit, the sergeants would always bet, I was just a 17-year-old private. They bagged on the M9 like crazy, saying how crappy it was. It was just a paperweight, only good as a club because it's so heavy. Watch me just screw this up. Anyway. And that was just my first impression. And then once I got more hands-on with it and actually trained with it, I liked it quite a bit more. Oh, the double packaging. Okay, a sticker in there. So there's the logo you're looking for if you're wanting to buy one yourself. Oh my goodness. All the flavors. That's awesome. Sweet. Okay, so these opened up. Just making sure there's no PII on here. I see my invoice, so we'll toss that aside. Okay. Here's the box it comes in. So I got this on the website. It was listed for $225 for excellent condition. And it says it comes with this. It comes with all the parts for the Beretta 92 FS or M9, but in this case, the 92 FS that was made by, I guess, Beretta, of course, for the federal government. So this is a Fed gun that's going to be converted into a nice civilian gun. We got something here too, which we'll unbox in a bit. Yeah, it's supposed to come with this case, 2 magazines, and then all the parts minus the receiver. So let's see how this looks. Okay. So there's our first magazine. Too bad, there's the markings there. What does it say? Cool. Okay, first magazine. Here's the upper slide with all the guts pouring out. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Well, looks like we didn't get any tritium sights, so they advertise that you could possibly get some tritium sights. We just have the normal sights. But they said most of their tritium sights are burned out anyway, so cool. The slide looks pretty nice. Here's our markings. Made in USA. Sweet. One thing I don't like about Beretta is they have warnings all over their pistols. So it's nice they don't have any of that on the upper slide. It's probably on their lower receiver, which we don't get by them. But yeah, looks pretty good. Okay, so there's the slide. Let's look at our barrel. Grooves are still pretty good. Yeah, not bad. It's kind of weird that that pin's coming out. I don't remember that. So I'll have to look into that. But maybe that's just how it locks into place when it goes up. It's been a long time, actually. So, okay. And there's our plunge and spring. Plastic, just as standard as it comes. Okay, and then here's all of our little parts. So I'm assuming this bag over here is our extra magazine here. Okay. And yep, there's our extra mag. So 2 magazines, a case. The upper is fully assembled. I did not want to touch the upper. I'm glad that's, well, I mean, of course, from the normal assembly, but I didn't really care to play with the safety. And then Beretta is unique as when you pull the trigger, this block has to move up so the firing pin can shoot. So it has a fire pin blocking there, which is really nice. I just don't want to have to mess with that system. I'm fine with messing with the lower though. Okay, so let's get these parts dumped out. Move this to the side. Now I have not looked at any lower schematics, so I don't know what most of these parts do, and I'll, off the video, lay them out so I can make sure I got all the parts from them, because they advertise 100% parts. So we got our grips, our trigger. Looks great. Grips are a little dirty here. Nothing good cleaning can't do. Let's do our left grip. Okay. Okay, there's our hammer. Okay. This looks like our magazine release. Yep. Grip screws. And yeah, everything seems to be in pretty decent condition. Assuming, I mean, if you're a federal agent, I mean, well, nowadays you don't know, but you shouldn't be shooting people too often. So a lot of little springs there. So yeah, kind of hard to see with my setup here. I mean, I don't have the best setup for this, but I mean, there's a huge crack in my folding table I didn't really care to have. So but yes, here's all the parts. Seems everything. Like I said, I'm going to go through the schematics and see if I have everything. But man, for $225 plus $10 shipping, they ship pretty quick. Ordered it, I think, what, Monday, came here yesterday. So what, Monday to Thursday? That's pretty sweet. So now what's my plan with this parts kit? Well, here's a 3D printed lower, and I want to make myself 3D printed Beretta, which would be really cool. Now, here's the thing, is, let's see, I have not done any post-production on this, so I doubt it's going to fit. But here's the thing is, I'm not going to trust this. This is a 3D printed lower that I found on like 3dcad.com or something from some guy out of Brazil who published them actually not even a month ago. And it seems to spec, but it's not, you know, it seems to be as more of a reference. And what bothers me is he felt the need to put on a serial number right here and the stupid safety warnings, like the read manual. Like he copied the gun. Yeah, he copied the gun verbatim. So there's some markings here. So I'm like, ugh. So I printed this with 20% infill, so density of 20% in the receiver. And I don't plan on using this as an actual frame, but more so just to kind of test out the parts, see if everything fits, play with it a bit. And just because, I don't trust it. I don't trust some random guy posting this. I mean, I'm sure it should work. Maybe I should put it up to on a what do you call that, sled, and shoot it with a string. But I'm anxiously awaiting the Beretta Sphinx release by Gerald Katz. And I know it from the limited research I've done that's in documentation right now. I would love to be on the beta, but I wonder if that has passed. But they have, man, just Google that. They have a lot of cool variations, some with the M9A1 style with the rails, even have the Raffica. It's still an M9, still a Beretta 92, but they put that little rail here, that front grip, so you can grip it like this, which would be really fun to have. So that's not technically a vertical foregrip, so would not become per the ATF as an SBR. So that's just kind of my plans with it. So if that gets released, hopefully sometime this year or the next, it's very viable to have a Beretta 92 FS for around $235. Because this is going to only cost a couple bucks to print, right? That's just plastic. It's nothing. And this parts kit being $225 plus $10 shipping, so $235, so about $240, you get a Beretta 92 FS. And Yeah, because I love cheap guns. I didn't want to pay full price, and that's when I saw this. I jumped on it because I knew the 3D printing community always comes out with good stuff. And the only thing that is, you know, I first thought was a problem is these plastic rails, which the 3D designer, I watched a podcast, said it actually works. He says print orientation matters. So I imagine if you printed it on your print bed, just straight up and down, you know, layer lines coming up, I don't think it'd be that good. So I printed this one like this, and you can tell, the camera's probably not going to focus it very well, but I think it would actually hold up. So we'll put this together, we'll try it, and we'll see. Okay, so I've been able to look at the parts a little closely off camera, and actually I was able to fit it on to the 3D printed frame. Just took a little bit of sanding, so that's kind of fun. I mean, heck, let's see what it looks like. I mean, that's not bad looking. That's not bad looking, you know. It's looking at it further, you know, whenever you get a gun, whether surplus, parts kit, something that's used, you always want to look in depth more. And so you can see some of that finish is wearing away. And if you look in there, see that rust in that corner? So you got rusting, you can see in this little bolt screw, there's some rust right there. So what I typically do is I take these apart completely, including the magazines, just everything. And so depending on how bad the rust is, I'll boil every single metallic part. And that way, the rust, it kind of loosens it up, and then you just take a brass brush with oil and it cleans up real nice. So this is what I love about this hobby too, is just really in-depth learning the manual of arms and the disassembly, assembly of various different firearms. So this is what I've learned so far. You know, and I've used the M9. I mean, I've taken it apart to clean, but that's about it. But it's interesting when putting this together, you know, you have to file every little thing and make sure every little part fits perfectly. So we're starting off with the barrel. So it's pretty interesting because the barrel, this, you know, that pin I talked about earlier that sticks out, well, this comes in with these tabs up, and it just slides, locks down, and then that tab is pushing against the plastic underneath where you can't see, locking this in place. This barrel is in there really good. All right, after a few more minutes of playing around, I mean, we're making progress. It's pretty crazy. I want to show you something. So here we go. It's pretty cool. Since the extractor isn't in here yet, you pull it back. Or excuse me, the ejector. So there's the extractor, but no ejector to send it to flying. Just a quick update. I know this is already a long video, but I actually put it all the way together the next day after the unboxing. It's not working properly, but I got most of the function down. I think I know what the problem is. So I got the slide, everything works, but the hammer doesn't, the sear doesn't engage. And that's because of the spring that is actually in here. Let me put this down. So the spring that's in here, you can see that spring right in there. I was dumb and I bent it because I thought it was for something else. So lesson learned, always go through a detailed parts schematic. Don't rely on just one video animation to find your parts. So I think that's the problem. I'm gonna try to bend it back into place, then put the sear in correctly to engage with some of the components in the receiver. But I cleaned up all the rust. I oiled every single part, even the iron sights. I got fixed up. They were pretty dirty before. And the other thing is, the designer made these holes too big. So the screws it came with, I can't even screw in the grips. Everything else was to spec, but not that. So we're gonna try to actually convert this STL file to a step file and fix that. And then if I can maybe straighten that spring and put this together correctly, we might get sear engagement and make it work. So, but I'm surprised. If I can figure this out, then we might have a shooting video here soon.